And thank you for having me. This has been wonderful. I am Councilwoman Pearl Eva Walker for District 3, and District 3 is the east side of Whitehaven, taking in Oak Haven, most of Hickory Hill, and a portion of Parkway Village.
Tell me how was today and some of the things that you shared with the group, some of our youth today. What are some of the things that you shared in the session?
Today was wonderful. I appreciate all of my engagement, but when I have the opportunity to be with our young people, that's especially something that I like to do, really meaningful because they need us.
Yes.
They need us in so many different capacities. And so today I was asked to speak about time management, and I just shared some of my strategies as well as a few of my maybe shortcomings, but and try to convey it in a manner that they can use it in their everyday lives.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. And in that same vein, on this past Thursday, our mayor gave a wonderful presentation to the city, the citywide thing. And some of the takeaways was he talking about the youth and being involved in the youth. Anything stood out with you from what the mayor said in our charge to our young people that you would like, that's worth repeating so that we can be reminded. Yes, it was a wonderful speech, but yes, it was a great call to action. Anything that you can say that we can be more engaged or charge us to do with our youth today?
So yes, Mayor Paul Young, it was his 100th day
Yeah.
speech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's doing that every year. He did it last year. He'll, keep doing it throughout his tenure. But he talked about our youth needing us. They need us. And so we need to be present because they need us. And yes, we can do it.
Yes.
We talked about the power of yes.
Yes.
And so that was one of the takeaways as it relates to our young people.
Yes, that was really good. The
Mhm.
yes, he had the big yes sign out there, which was wonderful. And I like how he brought in not just recognizing the city council, not just recognizing the county mayor, not just recognizing all of the city officials and state officials, but recognizing previous mayors was wonderful for me. And then how he was in D.C. and had got a chance to touch and talk to some of our youth while he was in D.C. representing them. And so it's wonderful about the work that's happening with the schools in the form of digital. So we're talking about digital literacy, digital education. Can you speak a little bit about your drive? Because I know that was one of your platforms when it comes to digital literacy, the STEM Academy, what's happening in the Whitehaven community that's coming up. Is there anything that you could talk about and share with us when it comes to that digital, the STEM? I don't know all the titles, but some of the things that are raising up
And
over
all
there in
of that is
Whitehaven.
good stuff.
Yes.
And we should be excited about it. So one thing that the mayor referenced was the fiber that we're getting in the city, and that work is currently taking place. It's going to take about 5 years to complete, but we're getting the fiber laid underground. And what that's going to mean is that everyone will have access to the internet unlike ever before. And so we could not fulfill all of our desires and goals once COVID hit, and so many people were virtual because there are a lot of areas in the city still where there is not a good connection. And once this is up and running, it'll be literally for everyone. There's a cost for this,
Right.
but it's going to be based on income. So no one will be marginalized and not have access to the internet. This is 2025, and maybe 25 years ago,
Yeah.
it's well, maybe not, but where we are now as a society, as a nation, and the world,
Right.
everybody needs to have internet access because it has become an a an important part of the fiber of our
Right.
society and how we live, how we do business, how we provide education,
That's true.
whether it's grade school on a college level, postgraduate, trade schools. So this technology is here
Yeah.
and it's here to stay and it's not going anywhere. So that's one thing he mentioned about the fiber development in the city. And I'm really excited about that. And that's something that actually came before the city council and we voted on.
Great, great, great. And then also that's going to really enhance our landscape as a city. and how it's causing us to be seen on a
Look at
national,
you. Yes.
international platform.
So yes, it will attract businesses
Yes.
and opportunities that we have not had.
Mhm.
And so it's gonna poise us for that as well.
And that's what the Ascent Digital Boot Camp is about. Getting our young people, ages 14 to 26, ready to be marketable, ready to be to bridge that gap where they normally would not have the opportunity to be at the table, to be considered for these positions. So we want to level them up through the boot camp, and that's why we're teaching them the basics of introducing them to what's available to them on the educational side, what's available to them on the career side, what's available to them more than just playing the games and being knowing the apps. Because I can give a young person a computer or a laptop or a phone, they know what to do with it and they can spend hours on it, but how can they own some of that space is what we're trying to get them to do and to see. We're trying to get them to experience that there are careers in entrepreneurships, online, e-commerce.
As well, and we
Yes.
touched on that today.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. So anything you would like to share with our group, or just share, challenge us or charge us when it comes to ourselves being engaged digitally, and then encouraging our young people to go after those digital opportunities that's gonna be right at our doorstep.
Well, I want to thank you all for having me today, and I want to thank you for providing this opportunity and experience for our young people. And I would like to just encourage you all to continue this work. And I want to encourage the young people to expose themselves to as much information as they can.
Without further ado, Ms. Pearl Walker.
Thank you. Can you all repeat after me, please? I am wonderful.
I am wonderful.
I am wanted.
I am wanted.
I am loved.
I am loved.
My family loves me.
My family loves me.
Is this against any philosophies or something you have?
No.
Okay, well, I'll start over. I am wonderful.
I am wonderful.
I am loved.
I am loved.
My family loves me.
My family loves me.
My community loves
My
me.
community loves me.
My God loves me.
God loves me.
And I love myself.
I love myself.
Once again, I am Councilwoman Pearl Eva Walker for District 3. And whereas District 3 is the east side of the world famous Elvis Presley Boulevard, going in that direction, taking in Oak Haven, most of Hickory Hill, a part of Parkway Village, and like I say, the eastern portion of Whitehaven. So I've been asked to speak to you all about time management. Kim made a reference to me being in the beauty industry and working by appointment. And for that part, so now, people make appointments online with these apps and things like that. But back in the day when I started, we did it the old-fashioned way with appointment books and scheduling. And so to be good at that, you gotta be good at math, not like being a mathematician, but just having basic math skills, adding, subtracting, and division. So if you're putting 2 clients in 3 hours and you split that time in half, how much time is that per client?
Like 1 hour and a half.
Yes, very good. What's your name?
Jalen.
Thank you, Jalen. So, things like that. And that's why I said it requires math. So speed that up, and we're dealing with all this technology. As it relates to the work that I do, and Kim wants me to talk about that. So I like to balance my time where I can free up time. And Thursday was definitely my busiest day of the year, and this was probably my second busiest day of the year. But what I like to do is, you got a question?
Yeah, actually, what you did. Or
What I did, okay. And so, if I can, I like my things back to back in one day. I like to fill up a day instead of going over here on a Monday, over here on a Tuesday. Now, y'all, this is a secret because people think that we do stuff every day, all day, but that's not reality. But I like putting things together in one day when I can to free up other days. So Thursday, So we have this calendar, we have legislative, they call legislative or research analysts, and we're hiring, by the way.
How old do you have to be?
I think you have to be 21, but I'll be glad to share the job announcement with Ms. Kim. But we have a calendar, and they plug things in on our calendar, and they send us questions about the calendar. Well, would you like to do this first or do this second? I live in Whitehaven. We have a great Starbucks in Whitehaven. So instead of me going to City Hall all the time, if I can get people to meet me at the Starbucks in my neighborhood, literally in my neighborhood, that works for me. So we're gonna go to Thursday, young man, and let's see what was Thursday. So, that morning at 8:30, I went to the barber shop and got that shaped up, faded out in the back. That's where I was at 8:30. And then at 9, up the street, around the corner, I was at the Starbucks. I met with someone for about 35 minutes. That was at 9. And then I went back home. I don't live far from the Starbucks. And then I went back to Starbucks, had a meeting at 11, had a meeting with the mayor. So he meets with us every other month for 30 minutes, but we had a lot going on that day, so they had to reschedule that. And
You met with
then
the president?
She said the mayor.
the mayor.
Don't.
But she spoke. That's great. That's great. Good to hear your voice.
He's the president.
He's the local
of Memphis.
president.
Yeah.
Local president. We don't call him that, like, that's it.
And then I had a 1 o'clock meeting with the fire chief at 2:30. I had a Zoom from 2:30 to 3:30. Then I had a late lunch from 3:30 to 4:30. Then at 4:30, I went over to Temple of Deliverance where the mayor gave his State of the City address. Go ahead. But that was a heavy day. Go ahead.
Do you do deliveries or stuff? Like when you meet up with people? Like, what is?
I don't do deliveries, but delivering what? Like food?
Yeah, no, not food. Like, do you deliver orders or something? Like, what do you?
Okay, on the city council, that's a good question. So all council members are chair and co-chair of a board, and we're all chair and co-chair of a committee, and we're all liaison to a board or commission. And, I am chair of libraries and neighborhood improvement and co-chair of MLGW, and that's cause I have this environment